All right, welcome to my channel. My name is Grady George, and this is an update. A lot of shit going on. I took yesterday off because I was so drained. I think I slept 2 hours in 3 days. That last Night Freaks, I had been up over 24 hours trying to get through the show. Um, so I took a day off yesterday. We were going to reboot and start fresh today on a whole new topic. But I'm not sure about that. We'll get back to that later. Um, but I would like for everyone to congratulate Connor. I did offer to him, and he has accepted the role as co-host of Night Freaks. It's very exciting because Connor is a young man that wants to do like a show kind of like this, and he's very raw, so he wants to learn and sharpen his skills on Night Freaks, and I'm going to help him with that. I'm also like an old streamer that took 10 years off from streaming, so I'm very rusty. And I don't hang out in social media much. I never chat with people. I watch a lot of the streamers that I talk to and about, but I don't actually hang out with the community much. I try to, but I'm not a very social person like that. And Connor is, so he could kind of help me stay connected that way a little bit better. So I think it's a beneficial thing for both of us, you know. So that's very exciting, and we'll see how that goes. The other thing is I want to give a shout out to Mitch DC. If you do not know who he is, he's a very skilled graphics guy. He does the graphics, a lot of them. The better Drunken Peasants graphics are all Mitch DC and some other sites. He's worked with my old Battlecam co-host Joe the Knife, and I've actually approached Mitch asking for rates for other projects, and he's not a guy you can hire. You know what I mean? He only wants to work with people he likes or he has interest in their stuff, and he approached me about doing the graphics for my channel, and I mean, I'm very excited, and I cannot wait. He's probably would already be done, but I got involved in all this Elisa bullshit, so we'll get to work on that, shortly. But he's already got a lot of stuff done. I just haven't implemented it yet. But it's very, very exciting, and I'm going to give a shout out to his YouTube channel probably sometime today. So be on the lookout for that if you want to follow him or check him out. He's also in the chat room quite a bit. A very interesting guy to talk to. Okay, now I want to get into. I just started a hashtag Where's Lyndsay campaign. I would like for you guys to go to my community tab. I have two Lyndsay posts there. Please share one or both. We need to get the word out on Lyndsay. She's been missing. I wasn't planning on talking about this anymore. I was kind of done with the Elisa thing. Jimmy has went into custody. I think we effectively have let everybody know just how horrible the confession slash manifesto 25-page thing was. I mean, I actually showed it to Crystal Roberts, who is a longtime Stern show person, yesterday. And she literally was about to start crying and couldn't even read it. And she knows the guy, and she has interviewed him, and she has not been around him to the extent that Elisa has, and she seemed very, very disturbed by it. She had to kind of get off early from her show, and that's in my community tab too. That show, I actually appeared on there, and Connor did too. If you want to check it out. But yeah, this is I think if you were Elisa, you would be even more disturbed because this guy was doing some really fucked up shit. But maybe we'll go more into that tonight on the show. But right now, we're just trying to find Lyndsay. What basically happened was, I think it was Sunday, but it could have actually been Monday morning. I'm not sure. I was in the Kermit Friend Discord. Elisa came in, was asking the Discord for help finding the guy that left her stream with Lyndsay, a guy named Chase, who according to her, was the last person to be seen with Lyndsay. According to her, her family and friends can only trace her back to that last live stream, and Elisa's claiming that she said she was going to another town with a viewer named Chase, and she couldn't remember that guy's name. That's why she was appealing to the chat room. And now I have talked to somebody that's very close to the show, or has been, and was around that time, I think, and that I really trust their opinion. They know more about what Elisa does than she does. I mean, I think she just tries to be entertaining and she lets other people deal with the bullshit. But he told me that that wasn't true, that after that, Lyndsay had actually came back and contacted Elisa and asked her for a ride to her storage locker. So if that's the case, that would be the last time anyone's heard of Lyndsay. And I want to know from Elisa what happened from there. Was Jimmy around? Was he like, I'll give Lyndsay a ride to her storage locker? And it's also a storage locker, and as we know from the manifesto, he's got a weird thing about the storage locker in Kansas. That could, just the mention of a storage locker might have really got him aroused and agitated or something. I don't know. I don't even know if Jimmy was around at that time. I've tried to find videos of them together. It seems like I remember them streaming together, or possibly he was there before Lyndsay. Then there was Lyndsay, and then maybe he came back after Lyndsay. I'm not sure. Maybe some of you can give me some better clarification on that. And I think it's also a jump to conclusion to assume that Jimmy may have had something to do with this. But however, in his manifesto, he's got a sick obsession involving sex and violence with the homeless people. And Lyndsay was a homeless person. And I've seen a lot of people in the community say, oh, she's just some druggie that abandoned her kid. And, this is just par for course for those types. But she didn't appear to be a person that was homeless due to drugs. I mean, they usually have she was very put together and well-spoken. I remember her saying that she wasn't with her kid because she was living just around. She didn't have a home, and she wanted to establish herself. And her friends and family are looking for her, so it's definitely been an amount of time that they're not used to not hearing from Lyndsay. So let's get Elisa looking into that. I would like for Elisa to at least let us know that she has told Lyndsay's family that another cast member, the day before they contacted her, sent her a disturbing diatribe about sex and violence fantasies against the homeless. And I would also like for you to go to the police station or call them that Jimmy turned himself in at, and ask them if they are aware of the manifesto. I think you are assuming that they know, or that it was given to them. But I would like for you to get clarification on that, and I would also like you to tell them that you have a missing cast member who was homeless. And then you don't have to do anything else about it, but you're doing the right thing, I think. Also, I want to bring up that I've just started a Crystal Roberts Grady TV interview. I'm about halfway through with John B. I'm actually doing another interview today at 1. So we're going to have a nice group of Grady TVs coming out very soon. But the Crystal Roberts interview is a interview I did with her earlier in the summer. And she actually, I think I put up about 5 or 6. She actually requested I take it down because she was having some issues at the time or whatever. I've actually been able to negotiate with her to let me put that back up, under her conditions and terms. So we just started that out. It's actually my favorite Grady TV interview I've ever done. She's so open, honest, and candid that it's just unreal, and it's an over 2-hour long interview. I mean, it's going to be over 20 segments at least. So I'm probably going to be running 2 Crystal Roberts segments per day till they're done. Probably for the next 10 or 11 days. If you're unfamiliar with Crystal Roberts, she's somebody from the Stern community. She actually goes way back in the day and actually has history with Elisa, and thus they have beef. She is currently my favorite live streamer as far as a top streamer goes. Her show is crazy. Everybody in the chat room is a mod. You can say whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. And they usually use that power to just insult Crystal constantly. She seems to somehow get off on it a little bit too, So, it's almost like a codependent relationship. To me, and she's very open. She's very funny. She's very un-PC. She doesn't give a fuck. I think she appeals more to those like old mean Stern fans, that aren't cool no more or whatever. But I don't know. I like her. I've been watching her lately. I'm unfamiliar with her old work. I just know that a lot of people that I've said, "Hey, have you watched Crystal Roberts?" They immediately turn on me and they tell me, "Fuck Crystal Roberts," and I hate her. I don't know why. And then I realized that I do hang around with a lot of the Kermit and Friends people, and that's sort of like Elisa's like competition back in the day. And I think she maybe has smeared Crystal a bit. I think if you're a Stern fan and you like Elisa, you'd probably like Crystal too. She's a different type, but kind of the same in a way as far as the humor goes. So if you want to check her out, I actually, I have a link to her channel in my community tab from that interview or that appearance I made yesterday on there. So the other thing is that I was very excited to work with Lala again, as some of you know. I have a history with Lala. Lala was actually the very first person I ever approached and interviewed for Drizzle Live. It did not work out well. We had a major, clashing, and I didn't think she would ever give me another chance to work with me again, but I think we worked pretty well. I have another project in mind for her that I want to approach her with, so I'm hoping that she might be interested in that as well. But I'm just very excited that I'm talking to Lala again, and everything seems to be cool. Or I'm sorry, Lauren the Christian. I don't want to say anything that would upset. I didn't mean to mock you or whatever. The other thing is, I was wondering, I have some people that watch me, that watch King Cobra and stuff like that. He is the leading person on sicko satanic shit, I would like to somehow get the last Night Freaks in his hands to get his take on it. All the anti-sicko bashers, they watch, that's where they're at. They're with Cove. So we got to get the anti-sicko Coves people. I like to get their take on this, what they think about what's going on. Because I think that would get some spotlight on this. The other thing I'm looking for is I'm looking for a satanic ritual expert. I mean, it's very clear Jimmy has been doing satanic ritual magic concerning the Elisa and the Kermit and Friends show. I'm somewhat versed because I read a lot of true crime and stuff like that. So it's easy for me to recognize that there's actually an attachment ritual being done. When I say satanic, they kind of refer to anything that is not Christian as satanic. But I don't believe he was actually worshiping the devil himself. He seemed to have some kind of feminine demon spirit that had a name. It escapes me off the top of my head. I might be able to find out tonight. He had an image of it on his blog spot. But it seems to me he was doing like your common run-of-the-mill satanic attachment rituals, where he was basically doing something to own Elisa's soul. During the entirety of when he was live streaming with Elisa, he was doing these satanic rituals at churches and committing acts of violence and degradation against the homeless. I believe that, he had talked about while streaming with Elisa several times her satanic and dark energy. And what we know is that he uses that energy for, or at least he believes he uses energy like that to gain power for himself. So I do believe he did view Elisa as some sort of a dark energy object. She uses a lot of homeless people in her shows. I believe that's why he was targeting the homeless when he was streaming with her, because that seems to be something that was only happening around the time he was streaming with Elisa. And I believe he was doing it to help her show, quote unquote. But I think at the end of the day, what he was gearing up to do was to actually own Elisa's soul by forever attaching himself to her by doing these rituals. And a lot of people can't figure out why he suddenly created himself out of nowhere. In my opinion, that is the final sacrifice, his own life. And he didn't kill himself, he turned himself in. So he wants to prolong, he wants an agonizing existence for his final days in prison. Because that's what he does in these magic rituals where he tortures the animals. And to be honest with you, we only went over the animal stuff. We're not going to talk about the kids, but the kid stuff they did to the kids were acts of degradation too to gain power. So the way you do that is torture and frightening them and stuff like that. So all that shit was going on. I mean, this stuff is horrible, dude. Okay, I mean it's horrible. The kind of shit like that would make Grady George unable to sleep at night, you know? So I would like to get an expert on here that really knows what the fuck they're talking about so we can actually try to figure out exactly what is he worshiping. There's a lot of numerology involved, like he uses 111 a lot, and, you know, like the store locker in a city in Kansas, he apparently has no other connection to, has a zip code of 666, like in it. And I think, and there's a lot of numerology and stuff like that involved. And somebody that really knows what the fuck they're talking about, I think would have a field day with this. I mean, it was clear that that's what he was doing, and I would like to try to figure out like exactly what is he worshiping, what kind of rituals was he doing, and then maybe somebody more of an expert could have an actual better idea of exactly what he was trying to do. Now, for my final parting word is that I would like to invite Elisa to come on for an interview. I know you have issues with everyone else. I'm the only person that has, through the whole thing, has repeatedly said I think you're an entertainer. I don't think your brand of entertainment is actually that bad, you know. Filming a homeless person that's already out in the streets doing stuff and talking to them and at least pretending like you like him, that's not that bad. Paying a homeless person who is starving to death or needs drugs so bad they're willing to suck your dick, $10 to put, bum fights across your head, that's bad. And Elisa's not doing anything near that. And I think a lot of you are stretching it just for your hatred of Elisa a little bit. I also believe Elisa is fake. I think she is, I think she's into some kind of Andy Kaufman style comedy routine. There's a lot of evidence of this. I mean, for instance, you'd have to be a moron to think she was ever actually engaged to Andy Dick. And I also feel she's never fucked Benji, possibly. I think that's all a lie, too. I think she fucked Benji about as much as she was actually engaged to Andy Dick. But what do I know? I think she's a completely different person than most of us know. I think she's trapped because she can't really come out and speak normally without giving it up that she's not this person. But either way, I don't have a problem with you, Lisa. I think it would be in your best interest to come on and share what you know and actually become involved in taking care of some of this shit that is the fallout of the Jimmy situation. You brought the guy into the community. You basically put your name on him, okay? We don't know the extent of people he's contacted in your community. There's been a lot of people involved in the show that have hovered around him. We do not know if they're missing animals or items or anything. We have no idea because you're trying to hide it. And I don't think you're trying to hide it for any other reason that you just don't want to be involved. You don't feel like you need to be involved. I think you think if you just let it blow over, it's going to blow over. It's not going to blow over. I think we're only at the beginning stage of this. I think there's going to be more stuff that's going to come out because the way guys like him operate, they do things in stages to maximize the intensity. And so right now, he's done enough that he's getting off on it. And then when that's not enough, that's when he'll start dropping next level. He's a classic BTK type of person all the way up to he hasn't killed any humans that we know. But that's a BTK is a guy that would like bondage himself, take photos of himself dressed like women, would go out and kill people, jack off all over their bodies, really desecrate them. That would get him off. And Jimmy was just that type, and I don't believe that Jimmy stopped with children and animals. I don't. I believe Lyndsay to a guy like Jimmy would be about as big of a threat as a little kitten. You know, I don't think Jimmy would fuck with a real man. You know, I really don't. But yeah, I think it's plausible that we have enough to be concerned about Lyndsay, and hopefully I can take this down soon and we find Lyndsay. But please help me out by sharing that and put Elisa's feet to the fire to just to like do the right thing and let the police know and her family. If she hasn't already, I don't want to accuse her of that, but I don't think she's brought it up since I asked her that in the Discord when she mentioned it. And I actually I put those community posts up yesterday. I tagged Elisa hoping she would let me know that, oh, they found her. And but I heard nothing from anyone. So at this point, we're going to try to bring that up a level, at least try to get Elisa to comment on the situation. I don't even know if Elisa's talking. I got banned out of the Discord. And it's really weird because I actually I showed a video of Elisa being humped by a dog. And I thought maybe that would be enough to get banned, but I didn't. So I went in there, I was talking to her, and that's when I started talking to her about how I believed, you know, that Jimmy was into her satanically, and they didn't even seem to be connecting that. I mean, that's how dumb they are, the people that are around her. You know, I think they're advising her just, oh, this is all going to blow over. It's not blowing over, Lisa. This is really, really fucking bad, dude. Anyway, I don't really know the extent of what she's talking over there because I'm banned, and I think she's banned half the Discord right now. I don't know if she's completely radio silent or if she's still talking to people over there. I've actually seen some things where she's made jokes that people in the Discord are worse than Jimmy and stuff like that. At least, so this is not something you joke about. So if something bad happens to you out of this, you get unfairly blamed. I have a hard time feeling sympathy for you, even though I don't think you should be blamed. Okay. So let's tighten that up. Let's work together to clear your name for one, and find Lyndsay and find out what other weird sick shit this guy's been doing around you. But if not, that's fine. At least go on your channel and talk about it by yourself. Or I thought it'd be cool if you just did like an old style Kermit and Friends desktop show, took some calls from people you trusted and liked, and just kind of talked about what was going on and your feelings on everything. I think that would be a really big project for you if you're really looking to do something, rather than just finding another homeless person for your next stream, because that ain't going down. Okay, those streams are done. And I would urge you to move away from Kleenex as well. You know, most of the community always has kind of lumped that guy up into the Jimmy category. I'm not saying he's like Jimmy at all, you know, but he is a creepy guy. He's touched you and weird shit, and he talks to you like shit, and he goes, I mean, just get it out of your life, okay? So anyway, Night Freaks tonight at midnight Eastern. And until then, you guys have a great day, and I'll see you later. Bye.